Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of The Round Up. We're back, y'all. It's 2022. Haven't seen you guys in a while, and I got my buddies here, Marissa, Tamara, and Levi, and we're here to talk to you guys about the metaverse. What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Doing good, man.
Hey, doing
Hey,
good.
What's up, everybody? It's
how you
2022.
doing?
Happy New Year.
I'm glad to have my buddies back with me.
2022.
2022. The year has treated us. I mean, the year has been okay so far, but we're gonna get into this topic about the metaverse, right? So, what is the metaverse? Does anybody have an idea what the metaverse might be? Anyone want to give a thought of what it might be?
Well, because when you brought this topic up that we was gonna do this, I didn't know nothing about it. So I did my little research, and this is basically virtual, like a virtual universe. That's what I got from what me and Rissa like looked up. Because I don't know nothing.
Oh, see, I did. See, y'all.
A little bit.
Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you about these two women here. These two women will sit here and torture you
Yeah.
to no end for no reason. No reason. No reason
We
about.
don't know anything about the metaverse. Like I
No,
didn't know what
we
that
don't.
was.
And this won't even the original topic.
Right.
Whoa. You getting exposed today, bro.
You just sprung this
Exposed.
on us. Like you literally just sprung this on us.
Right. Hi,
Yeah.
guys.
We had-
I think we're going to do this. Oh, no,
Yeah.
we're doing this.
Okay, so Terrence, tell everybody how we got on the subject.
We got on the subject because my brother Dimitri was asking about us not being in the scene for a while. I've been getting a bunch of questions about when we're going to do another podcast, whatever. So Dimitri asked about it, and it's been coming up because me and Levi basically have been in game recently, been getting more into gaming and doing a lot more gaming. And we
Operative word.
see,
Exactly. Him
Huh?
and Levi.
Yeah.
But okay.
yes, that's true, but also because they're very heavy. Well, not so much Tamara, but definitely Marissa is very heavily involved in Facebook, which we all know is going meta. We all know that all this stuff is turning into a new type of lifestyle, a new way of living, and we need to be ready for it. Okay. All right. So what I have here, the metaverse is defined as a massively scaled and interoperable network of real-time rendered 3D virtual worlds, which can be experienced synchronously and persistently by an effectively unlimited number of users with an individual sense of presence and with continuity of data such as identity, history, entitlements, objects, communications, and payments. That's crazy.
So
You know how
everybody,
deep that
so
goes?
so everyone, what Tamara said, that's what it is. If you want it in human terms,
Yeah.
In
Thank
human
you.
terms, yes, that's what it is. Basically, it's saying, basically, you can take me, put me into this world,
yeah.
and I exist as I exist here, but it's all virtual, and that's what the metaverse is going towards. I don't know if anyone has ever seen Ready Player One or
A lot of people
movies
keep
like
mentioning
that. Yeah, it's kind of like on that scale. Have y'all ever seen that Ready Player One?
I haven't. I need to
no,
watch it.
unfortunately. I heard
Yeah.
of it, but never seen it.
Well, basically, it's Ready Player One. For those who haven't seen it, it's basically it's in the future where these people can go and they can put on these headsets and they're able to live their lives as an avatar. They can change their face, their identity, everything. They can be a completely different person, completely
Sims.
different thing, completely different thing, completely different creature. Anything that they can make up in their mind to be, they can be that and
Yeah.
exist in this world. They can fly, they can have sorts of magical powers, whatever the universe that they're in, whatever the virtual world that they're in allows them to do, they can do that. And so that's where the metaverse is going towards. And I just it's very interesting to see. It's very interesting to try to gather our minds around, but I wonder how fast we're going to be able to get there. That's what brings me to this. Like, I look at how where we were not 10 years ago, where a lot of people who are now on Facebook, who were calling Facebook the demons and all other kinds of things, or who wouldn't even get on Facebook, who are now becoming parts of Facebook.
Yeah, they
It's
on there
funny.
every time they can to go live and to say this and say that. But a couple of years ago, they were talking about how it was demonic
Woo.
and how
And
your
not to
child
talk,
didn't have
and I'm not,
Facebook.
and I'm not trying to talk about them in the sense of they were wrong or anything like that. I'm just looking at it as
No,
how
you're
far.
right. No, you're right, because
Yeah.
everything that we just don't understand ain't demonic.
Exactly.
That's
People
true.
was talking about, if
It's
you
very
put my
true.
picture on there, I'll sue you and all types of stuff. I mean, come on, bro.
Levi.
People are a little
But it has
ridiculous.
become a very
And if you're
integral
watching this
part of.
video and you was one of those people, shame on you. Welcome to Facebook.
It's become a very integral part of our everyday lives, just Facebook in general, or even
Violence
online
tonight.
stuff. Because we've needed it because of COVID, right? Because COVID has made people have to become sorry, my computer did something that threw me off. Because COVID has made people have to be
Digital.
connected. Yeah, connected digitally, and it's really been a help, honestly. I mean, let's just be real,
100%.
because without Facebook, Zoom, Skype, what did Apple use?
FaceTime.
Apple FaceTime, Google Duo, all these different means of connecting digitally during this time where we really couldn't touch or be around each other
Yeah.
for extended period of times without getting each other possibly getting each other sick. We've been able to use these means to be able to stay in contact. So it's been a really good thing. So do you guys feel like this is a good thing? Like being able to make up your own version of yourself and be able to be whoever you want to be. I feel like there's pros and there's cons to it. It's just like with everything. And I think that's why people were so afraid of Facebook, because they saw more of the cons than the pros of what it could be.
Yeah.
But that's just like life in general. There's pros and cons to everything. So you have to weigh them and what you use. So what do you feel like? Do you feel like you want to be a bird like Marissa? Do you feel like you want to be able to be, I'm just saying, like in general, to have that ability to go into this virtual world, put on your glasses, put on your headset, and okay, I'm this other creature with a life, a millionaire, something like that. Do you feel like it's okay for the human psyche, for one, and other type of mindsets and stuff like that? What do you feel?
To be honest, I understand that you say that this is coming. But to me, it's not real. So I don't see the lure. I mean, I understand it's still like, I understand the need and how it's helped us, and I agree with that. But like,
Right.
to literally transplant yourself in another world, I mean, I really don't, that doesn't entice me in any kind of way. So, but I can see that it can be too much for some people, especially for people who are not sound or emotionally strong or mentally strong. Because I
When you
feel
say
like
too much,
I think it will be too much. Like, for example, you have people who game, and there's a bad side to that, so to speak, because they all they do, and they've cut off most interaction with people that are close to them, like that kind of thing. Now, I can see this being the same way too, but I mean, I don't know. I think that it can definitely be a con. Like, just for example, like the movie Avatar. He wanted to become into that world because in real life he physically couldn't walk. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he was able to create a new life. I see the lore of it, but I mean, it doesn't for me. And y'all know I love all things magic and powers in the reality sense. But, because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, all that, I love Twilight, stuff like that. But that's the
not
extent
like
that
you're
it
not
goes.
like a witch though. You mean like when you say magic, you like magic?
Correct. That's what I said, in the fictional sense. In the fictional sense, I'm a big reader, so when things become movies, I like to potentially like the movies also. But strictly in a fictional sense, that's where it stops. Like, making one of my favorite books a movie, I'm good with that. But as far as like wanting to create this whole nother alternate reality, that doesn't entice me because it's still not real.
How do you feel about it, Tam?
Same. I'm all for what is real. What's reality. I can see it, having a level in like the gaming world where, you know, you guys play COD or whatever, you know, y'all do.
Okay,
so
Tam.
I know. I'm like really surprised you said COD.
So I get that aspect of it, right? But it's still fake. No matter how much you're involved with this fictional, you know, character that you've created, and it's still fake. It's still fake. So it doesn't translate into real life. Now, I will say this. Have y'all seen that? I think it's derived from Cox or either Verizon. I believe it's Cox. There is a commercial where there are two brothers who have been estranged for a very long time. One is like in another country, one is in the States. And they use the virtual hug so that they could feel each other, even though they're thousands and thousands of miles away. Have y'all seen that commercial?
I have not.
Okay, so it's a really like heartfelt type of commercial because they haven't seen each other in a long time. They were able to talk to each other, of course, but then with this, and I believe is a part of the metaverse, this this like, I don't know, technical thing that they had, they could feel each other, like hug each other.
Right.
You know, so
that's part of it.
Yeah, and so in that aspect, I love it. Like, that's not fake. That's just you connecting with someone who you haven't seen in a long time or whatever. That I get. But this gaming stuff and like you creating a whole nother like world for yourself, I feel like it's a little danger in that because how can you set apart what's real and what's not? And then again, like, let's take the gamings that have a lot of shootings and things of that nature. A lot of kids, they want to act that stuff out in reality, but it's not the same as when you're in the game. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of cons, and I see why, like, a lot of people, especially, you know, our elders, so to speak, wanted to get, you know, like, y'all don't do Facebook, y'all don't do this social media thing, don't do that, because you do get sucked up in it. Look at, you know, cyberbullying and things that people have like committed suicide over things that were fake that didn't even really matter, but because they made this fake life and things that, you know what I'm saying? So me, I think there is some good to it. Sure, there can be, but anything that is good like that and that can produce mass amounts of money, best believe there's some things to it that is not, I don't think that's beneficial to a human and it's like development of like being a true citizen. Does that make sense? I just
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not everybody is mentally sound to handle stuff like that.
Right. And that shit, like, I do feel like I'm gonna let you talk, Levi, but I do feel like to an extent, because I felt this just watching The Walking Dead, right? So when The Walking Dead came out, I didn't watch it for like the first 3 seasons, but at one point I started watching it literally nonstop for like a week, and it just got so ingrained to me, and I started to feel like I could be in that world, you know what I'm saying? And to the point where at one point I heard something, I was like, oh yeah, that's not real, that's not real, because I know I was watching it, but I had to mentally check myself and say, oh no, there's not zombies. You know what I'm saying?
You're so engrossed in the show.
You're so engrossed in it, right? So once you like, when you're in that situation where you're spending hours in this virtual world, you can't get like that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Levi. I'm sorry.
No,
how do you feel about it?
I totally agree, to be honest. I think we're a little, just for anybody who's watching, we're probably going to be a little skewed because we are physical touch people. I work in the digital space and stuff like that. We all do, in a sense. But there's nothing that's ever going to be able to replace in person anything. Being able to be next to your person and stuff like that. Now, what I will say is, I think the metaverse is going to make a lot of people rich. I will say that.
For sure.
And I think that's one of the reasons why. No, what were you gonna say?
I don't want us to interrupt each other, but I feel like this is a good time where we can start interrupting each other. I don't want you to lose your thought, but I do feel like there are a lot of people out there who do feel that way, where they don't want to be physical touch and they would rather be, you know.
100%. I mean, and it's a lot of the newer generation, a lot of the outcasts, a lot of your guy who might have sit at lunch by himself. You know what I mean? And that's just real. A lot of times, like, you know, me and Terrence, like, we stream games and stuff like that. A lot of times, a lot of these people, that's how they are. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you know, it is different. I do feel like I feel like there has to be limits. I really wonder how, like, maybe like government or federal laws will apply to the metaverse and stuff like that, because
Right.
I look at certain things like, okay, this could be a big opportunity for people who are pedophiles and things of that nature. And if you don't have a certain parent who really parents their child, they get on the metaverse, create a relationship with someone who is, I mean, we're talking about, we have MTV Catfish. I mean, we talking about serious catfishing.
Still catfish.
You
Yeah,
know,
no, I don't understand that.
yeah,
I don't understand.
we're
Like, how
talking about,
people still getting catfish?
Yeah.
And more importantly, like, children are still getting got by these pedophiles.
right.
No,
You know
children.
what I
I
mean?
understand children. Yeah, I understand.
What
Yeah, I
happens?
get
What I'm saying is, like, with Levi being able to the metaverse would take that a step further, because they would still have essentially more access through the metaverse. You know what I mean? If you're able to feel a touch or something through that, then what else is going to be able for them, you know, accessible to them?
Yeah, and
So.
you know, if you know, eventually have to come out of the world, you know, but what happens when you feel like you have fallen in love with someone and they are underage? And then you guys want to meet up and things of that nature. You
Right.
know, like Terrence said at the beginning, there's pros and cons to everything. Like, I know people are going to be able to buy property inside the metaverse where you can sell, rents, buy and sell to people. Like,
but it's
literally.
gonna is it gonna be like real life property or property inside of the metaverse?
It's going to be property inside of the metaverse. Like, you can
Okay,
you can own property inside the metaverse.
That is so
have a whole business inside of the metaverse.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah,
You ever seen Sword? You don't like anime, but that's how Sword Art Online is. You know, where the people they go out, they have these like parties that go out and like raid dungeons and stuff. But as they're waiting around, they can just wait around and like actively live out a life. They can actively live out a life as if they were these avatars forever. Possibly.
This reminds
I'm
me
sorry.
of sophisticated Sims. Like,
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it
pretty
is.
much.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. My thing is, and then you talking about marriages, you know, what happens if your partner spends too much time on a metaverse and falls in love with somebody that he or she meets on the metaverse. You know, it's a lot of different capabilities. I just need to see like some really, I don't want it to be, and I feel like there was a game that came out like Cyberpunk is really, you know, out, you know, in the future type of thing, but I really want to see something where it has some limits, like, and not just all out, just do whatever you want world.
A free for all, right?
Yeah, you know, and I feel like that's what people really want.
That's what's going. Yes, that's what they want, and that's what's going to happen because let's be real, the laws don't keep up with the stuff that happens in the real world. How are they going to keep up with the stuff that happens in virtual world?
That's true. Because what's stopping a 15-year-old from making a profile that says that he or she is 21, 22? I mean, people do it on Facebook all the time. You know, how do you?
And
it's
then
not like you can vet the person
and creating a person that looks that age too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can be any one or thing that you want to. I think that's just, I don't know.
So I mean, we're talking about all the cons too. So let's bring out some pros about it, because I do feel like there can be pros, like because everyone can learn something from something. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't want to just sit up here and bash it.
No. I mean,
and I'm not saying that you guys are. I'm just saying like,
and I'm just saying like of non-social interaction. I think this could be a big help. I don't think that, unfortunately, our world will return to touching like that anymore. It seems
I don't think so either.
More of a push now. So I don't think so either. The alternative, people will flock to this to be able to, let's say you just have a Thanksgiving dinner in the metaverse. I mean, it's just wild, but that's what they're pushing. That's what they're promoting. You know what I mean? To be able to live your life inside of this this world. So yeah.
I
It's
can't.
surprising because even like
That
people
just
who are
doesn't
like
sound
really
appealing to me at all.
no, I
It's
get that, and I can
because we're
see what
old
it's not.
school.
Now,
That's
see, now I was going to say that. Now, do we sound like our elders who didn't want to get on Facebook?
Yeah, most
You know what I
definitely.
mean?
I can
And
definitely say that. Yeah.
yeah,
And
Yeah,
like
I can see
our
that too.
younger nieces, nephews, cousins, they would be like, no, this is exactly what this world is. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, but like you look at these movies, like, and of course I'm like it's going through my head the movies that I want to um talk about, and I can't think of the title, but a lot of these movies are like the world itself, right, is decrepit, very poor, but everyone then when they go into the virtual part of it, oh, it looks money, bling, you know what I'm saying? And like,
yeah.
is that where we're headed? Like, honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Honestly, Tamara, when you think about it, like, we forget a lot of times that America really is in a bubble as opposed to the rest of the world. Like the rest of the world, not the rest of the world, but a lot of areas in the world don't have it like we have it here in America.
100%.
And I feel like
Right.
a lot of them look at the things that we have here, and that's why a lot of people flock here so much. I mean, a lot of people see things on TV. I mean, there are not decrepit, but there are areas in this country that are downtrodden or whatever. I don't want
and banned like a lot of the
know.
things that we have here. They're banned. They're banned in a lot of these other countries.
Yeah,
And
they are.
we just don't think about that because we're living our life in this country. But a lot of people just don't have access to the things that we have.
mhm.
And so it's like, when you see those movies that are like that, I don't see it too far off, to be honest with you. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, that's what's
especially with
crazy.
people, if you look at how now people, everybody wants something for nothing nowadays. Not everybody, but a lot of the younger generation. I won't say all of them. I won't say a lot. I'll say I've seen a number of younger generation where everyone wants to get paid an exorbitant amount of money for doing a job that it should be menial. You should be working to get into a higher level of job. You know what I'm saying? Now I do know that some people, certain things or certain levels of the job, you should be getting paid more, but everybody wants something for doing nothing nowadays. It seems like a lot more people don't have that drive to fight and work harder. So when you have that mindset of, okay, this can go, that can go, and just fall by the wayside, and everything can just forget America, forget we need this or we need that for the country to help it be better. After a while, I'm gonna just put on my glasses and I can go out into this world and just live my life without having to do anything. Why not? I mean, I'm literally laying in my bed or sitting in my couch with a headset on, and I can be whatever, whoever, however I want to be.
I wonder how that
especially if
will
it's
work. Like how
right.
how the currency system. That's why I'm more so like
about to say, like, I wonder how, like, if you could, once you get into like most of the things that I've seen has been gaming related, right?
Mhm.
So like if you could be really good at a game and win, tournaments and stuff like that, or go into, like, if it's like a guild and you go and you beat this dungeon boss and you get money from that, can you bring that into another part of the metaverse? You know what I'm saying? Because right now the metaverse is it's describing the universe as pieces. You know what I'm saying? It's pieces to a whole thing. It's not like connected completely yet, right? So
can I say something about that? I just find it very interesting that all of these companies have built this thing and nobody knew about it. Okay, like Facebook they're all creating this metaverse. Facebook has the thing, Microsoft connects to Facebook, other companies have metaverses. It's like they all, I mean, because this stuff had to be constructed. Somebody had to know about this type of stuff over time. So
Absolutely.
it's like, you mean,
yeah.
It's just very interesting that they, I feel like Bill Gates stepping down from Microsoft and things of that nature, and some of the other CEOs as well, top CEOs, and then these things come together. I just, to me, I feel like it's very intertwined.
So when you say Facebook, like, is going towards metaverse, like, what does that mean?
So
What is that?
basically what the metaverse is, it's the name for the universe, but
Mhm.
different companies can create basically their own world, like Terrence is saying, and they will all connect to the same basically universe. So you could step into the metaverse and say, hey, Microsoft has their own universe or whatever, and you want to go visit. You can go to their universe that they've created within the metaverse and go and explore their world, pretty much.
Right. Right now, they haven't shown. I haven't seen anything where every company or whoever has those companies are interconnected to the point where like currency would be,
Mhm.
commingled and stuff like that, or like houses and stuff like that. From what I gather, and from what I've seen so far, like Facebook would have its own world. So it's like it's still a universe, right? So, but like Facebook is like Earth, right?
Mhm.
So Earth exists, Facebook as Earth exists, and everyone can do everything they do inside of Earth. But say Microsoft has their thing, that's Mars. So you would have to go to Mars, but you don't have the same currency or you don't have the same type of
Mhm.
whatever in
Right.
both of those countries. It's different. I mean, both of those worlds. So it would be kind of like that. I feel like now. I feel maybe one day once it gets a little bit more involved, that it would be more
It's
connected
yeah,
worldwide.
eventually they're all going to use the same currency. I mean, we see cryptocurrency. It's going to be a cryptocurrency that they're all going to use
Yeah, I
at
can
some
see that.
point, and then you're just going to take that cryptocurrency and you're going to go around, and maybe they'll let you use multiple. Maybe the worth of them will be different and stuff like that, depending on how much you have. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be a cryptocurrency that connects them all at some point.
So yeah, I can see like why like I feel that after a while, once people start to see the lure of it, just like what happened with Facebook, everyone's going to be on board with this. It's not going to be some small thing. But I agree with Levi, like when he was saying that there should be some kind of limits to it. Like they need to have a cut switch, a off switch where like, look, you've been up here for 4 hours. You've been up here for 6 hours. You can't do this no more. And there needs to be some form of psychological test to see who can handle being in a virtual world and who is able to take themselves out of being like this is going to be a world that's completely your senses are completely involved in your eyes, maybe not smell and
Smell and
taste,
taste.
Taste.
but your eyes and hearing is enough, and touch, well, I'm sure touch shouldn't be completely involved. I mean, you'll have to maneuver some things, but
Marissa,
if your brain is completely involved in it, I mean, honestly, hopefully that we're not into it to the point where our brain is like is not connected to the point where we're getting synapses to tell us what something smells like. Now that's deep, but I feel like it
I
could
mean,
get
it's
to that
deep when you
point.
talk about touch too, though.
Yeah.
Marissa,
So,
what's the long-term side effects of something like that? Like just having a headset on like that. Is there any real side effects?
yeah, I mean, especially like, are you guys gonna like with what you're looking at? There can be some permanent and probably irreversible eye damage, I would assume, but it
What about
depends on,
brain?
I guess, like what are y'all? Is it like a screen that we looking at through these? I mean, it just depends on. Like I know there's a set, but what exactly are they, like the thing that they're looking at that projects the image? You know what I mean? Does that make
It's gonna
sense?
it's gonna be right now it's tied to Oculus. Of course there's gonna be like other virtual glasses and things of that nature that are a lot that look like actual regular glasses that they're coming out with as well. So
Yeah. So
But
I
I
right
mean,
wonder. Yeah.
I would assume that there would be some type of, technology that will make it easier on your eyes, and etc. But and maybe and possibly not. But I mean, it just depends on each person and how they would react to this technology once it becomes a norm. I guess because you would never know. But my most concerning thing would be the mental ability, because I mean, people, you can get, I mean, even now, like, take this out of it, there's so many different things that people can become addicted to or obsessed with, and it has nothing to do with this, and this seems fake real to the point where it's awakening other senses that you have a more realistic relationship with. So you know what I'm saying? So if people can be addicted to other things, this alone could be something, because I mean, this
Let me tell you,
sounds like an
gaming is addictive.
introvert's dream.
Yeah,
Gaming is
definitely.
very addictive.
Yeah,
Gaming is
and
very
so
addictive.
and this sounds like I said, an introvert's dream. Now, not all introverts are mentally unstable. I'm not saying that, but that is where people who identify as introverts will become. That's like the world is at their feet now. You know what I'm saying? And they can do all of the things in without having to reveal themselves. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, I can see where there can be some good, but all things within moderation.
How much time we got, Levi?
We're out of time.
Oh, we're out of time. All right. Well, on that, guys, we're going to end this conversation on that. We're definitely trying to keep our conversations down to 30 minutes. So next time we're going to try to come back and talk about this maybe a little bit more. We'll see how further we're going to go with this, but it's definitely a good conversation to have because I feel like people are not ready. Well, I shouldn't say they're not ready, but
No, you're right.
honestly, it's really going to be,
I would agree.
up to. I feel like it's going to be up to people to decide whether or not they're going to be a part of it, at least for the coming maybe 10, 20 years. Sooner or later, though, it's going to be so engulfed in our lives that you're going to have to
do something
in the metaverse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
especially
it is what it is.
for people who are having children, like in the future.
Yeah, I mean they make us
becomes
adapt.
a new
just
normal.
like with how they did
that's scary to think about. They make you adapt to
They
what
do.
they need.
They make you adapt.
Mm-hmm.
They make you adapt. Everything becomes to the point where okay, you have to use a credit card or
Right.
like if you're in line and you're writing a check. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. If you're in front of me writing a check, I'm like, what are you doing?
Get out of my Get out of my
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, out of my line.
Shame.
Because you're taking up my time. I'm trying to get in and out, right? But
See?
that's what we've become accustomed to,
It's
So slowly but
dangerous.
surely, they make you become used to certain things. So it's gonna happen. But with that, guys, I want to thank Tamara, I want to thank Marissa, and I want to thank Levi for sharing with us again. We hope to see you guys next time on the next The Roundup podcast. We appreciate you. Y'all have a great night. Y'all take care. Peace.
Bye.
Gotcha.